Well, welcome, Denise. Thank you so much for inviting myself and the other panelists to be part of this vision you had to bring misrepresentation here. Can you tell me just a little bit about what your role is here at the school?
So my role is the Assistant Dean at the Harry B. Varshney Business Career Center at the Sauder School of Business, and our mission is to help students find the best careers they can have, and we also do a lot of professional development activities with them.
So was this, when you were thinking about misrepresentation and to the average person, it looks like a natural kind of fit. But I think you must have had a specific reason for doing this.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the statistics, 51% of university graduates are female, and yet only 50% of corporate officers are female, and only 3% of CEOs in North America are female, and only 14% of business faculty are female. So there's a real gap there in terms of what women are capable of being and what they become. And there are many, many reasons for that, but obviously this film is going to talk about one of those reasons, and that's why I thought it was important to teach our young women that there are still challenges out there and we have to talk about them so we can overcome them.
And why did you personally get involved in your career and what you're doing? Because everybody has a story and a reason for doing the things they do.
Well, I think in my career, I started out in publishing, which was very female-dominated, and then I went into the high-tech world, which was very male-dominated. And I think for years, I've had to overcome self-confidence issues and things like that, and I see the young people that I work with facing the same kinds of things, this lack of belief in yourself. We see stats like only 12% of women will negotiate their salaries. And I think a lot of that stems from, are we worth it? Will we ask for the promotion? Will we ask for that raise? In many cases, we won't. And those, again, are issues that we can overcome, but we need to educate people about it and talk about it. So I feel very strongly about this issue.
Do you think it's, as women, we just bring our natural and nurturing side into just about everything, and that is a barrier? That's just my personal bias, but do you think there's some of that?
I do a workshop called No Girls Allowed, Secrets from the Executive Suite, and we talk about what women do well, how they hold themselves back, and what women do well is the nurturing and the collaborative aspect of, we're generalizing here, of women's nature, and I think that's a real plus in the workforce. But it may not be seen as a plus by the men or, other people in the workforce. So again, we need to really talk about the differences in the genders and what diversity, the value diversity adds to any kind of situation. So whether it's a very directive male approach or it's a more collaborative female approach, both have value and we need both in the workforce.
Well, absolutely. It's a balanced society. Now, my personal opinion, I think I would like to take gender right out of discussions and just say, why can't we just be human to human and treat people based on their integrity, based on what the value that they bring? Do you see a lot of thoughts like that now, or with the youth coming up in your programs?
That's a good question, and you're right. We all just are who we are, whether we're male, female, or straight or gay, or old or young. We all have different perspectives and value, as I said. I still see that there is quite a gender bias in terms of, the young people that I work with. I see it in the classroom. Young female students they ask fewer questions in class than males do. And again, whether that's socialization, unconscious bias on themselves, it's a good question, and probably one we'll be talking about for years to come.
I'm sure. And do you see anything culturally where it's predominant in one culture more than another?
Oh, well, yes. We have an international student body, and there certainly are cultures. If you think about people from China, authority is authority, and there's a great deal of respect for an older person or a more senior person. So whether you're male or female, you are less likely to challenge that person or to offer your opinion, for example. So it's not, cultural basis does come into it, and I think from a female's perspective, it may be even more challenging for some cultures for women to be assertive and to really say what they want and, demand that promotion or that extra responsibility or that respect.
And I think the practice of speaking it out is part of the process of breaking down those barriers as soon as you vocalize it.
Yes, exactly. And, my husband watched this movie with me when we were, I first got it, and I wanted to make sure I, was prepared for it. And, he's a pretty advanced kind of guy, but even he was shocked about how normal all of this seems. So when you see the hypersexualization of women or, the toys that we buy young girls, it just seems so normal. And, it shouldn't be normal.
Thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate it. And we're going to hear some more from some very amazing panelists here at the Sauder School of Business here at UBC campus tonight for the Misrepresentation event.